Tonight on Connecticut's news station, almost 6 months after the body of a visiting nurse was found in the basement of a Willimantic home, the convicted sex offender who lived in that home is finally facing charges. We'll tell you what he's been charged with coming up.
And rain returns for a soggy start to Saturday. We're going to time out this weekend rain so you can make outdoor plans coming up.
Data shows there's a link between child abuse and animal cruelty, and local lawmakers say the best way to counteract both is by raising awareness. We'll hear their messages next.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. A lot of new developments tonight on stories we've been following, now dominating headlines. We're finally getting some answers.
And we begin in Willimantic tonight, almost 6 months after a horrific killing of a visiting nurse. The convicted rapist she was assigned to care for is now charged with her murder and attempted sexual assault. You may recall Joyce Grayson was found dead in the locked basement of a Willimantic halfway house on October 28th. And on that day, police arrested a suspect as he ran from that location on suspicion of larceny and for possession of drug paraphernalia. His name is Michael Reese, and officers say Reese had some of Grayson's possessions on him when he was arrested. He's being held on $2 million bond that is due back in court June 7th.
And we're learning the names of the victims in a Wallingford fire. The youngest was only a baby. 24-year-old Justin Varnado, 19-year-old Charisma Johnson, and 9-month-old Kylan Varnado were killed. The fire was started Wednesday at the home on Geneva Avenue. Police have launched a criminal investigation into that fire.
And finally, we are learning more about breaking news we told you about last night here at 10. State police are investigating after a police officer shot a man while trying to break up a dispute in Colchester last night. Fox 61's Matt Caron is in Colchester with everything we know so far.
Well, we are here outside of the State Police Barracks, Troop K in Colchester. It's just a few minutes from the multifamily home where this all took place at about 6:15 Thursday evening.
It's quiet. Everybody's quiet up there. Never had any problem.
Until all that changed. 6:15 Thursday evening, a gunshot rang out near this multifamily home on Norwich Ave near Oak Ridge Drive. That gunshot fired by a Colchester police officer.
Saw some sirens, and next thing we knew, I guess officers had altercation, and supposedly there was a shooting.
Police say officers were called to the home for a disturbance, and the shot was fired after meeting an individual. The wounded person and the officer were taken to the hospital.
Troop K is right up the street, so I mean, never really have any problems. I guess you never know nowadays.
Investigators closed the road until mid-morning Friday. Tenants who live in the multifamily home did not want to speak with Fox 61. And because this is an officer-involved shooting, it triggers an automatic use of force investigation that right now is being conducted by the State Office of the Inspector General, who within a few days will issue a preliminary report and body camera footage. We will, of course, continue to follow those developments. Reporting in Colchester, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, time now for a first check on the forecast. It's wet outside overnight and into the morning, but the good news is the rest of the weekend is not wet.
Yeah, we're excited about that. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here with more. Rachel, when are the showers going to start?
Yeah, these days we treasure every single hour that it is not raining. The showers are going to get underway, I would say, after about 3 o'clock in the morning, although there's not much going on outside right now. And even when you look at the radar across the Northeast, there's just a few scattered showers. A front will be moving in, and it will get some enhancement as it moves by. And that means I think the radar will kind of start to blossom as we head towards daybreak. So this is what the future radar looks like. This is 6:30 in the morning, and it is raining across the state. If you have any outdoor sporting things with the kiddos, make sure you're kind of rearranging things to either play sports inside or move things into the afternoon. Noticing here at 10 a.m., it's still raining. So this has slowed a little bit from what we were talking about a couple of days ago. But as we head into the afternoon, we dry things out. We might still see a few lingering showers at lunchtime here in eastern Connecticut. This is 1 o'clock, though. We should be all done, and the rest of the day is looking pleasant, and it'll be warmer tomorrow as well. Overnight lows in the 40s. It's raining when you wake up in the morning, and then as we head through the afternoon, we'll dry out. Clouds will break for some sun. We'll see highs climbing into the lower to middle 60s. There's a slight chance for a sprinkle in the early evening, and then we'll clear things out later Saturday night, paving the way for a dry Sunday. But it will be a bit cooler. We'll take a look at the numbers coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. We are still following developing news out of New Britain tonight, where police are investigating after a child was hit by a school bus. And this happened at the Creck Academy of Science and Innovation on Slater Road in New Britain. According to Creck's executive director, the incident happened during dismissal, and school staff reacted very quickly to get the student to the hospital as soon as possible. No one else was hurt, and there's no word tonight on the student's condition.
Police in Waterbury have taken a man into custody accused of stabbing his wife to death. This happened inside a home on East Main Street around 5 this morning. Police say Alan Bell stabbed his wife in the neck. She died at the scene. The couple's 5-year-old child was there, but that child is now in DCF custody. Bell's being held on $1 million bond. He's charged with murder and risk of injury to a minor.
An East Hartford man faces rioting charges tonight. State police alleging he organized several street takeovers last May. 21-year-old Jackie Haynes surrendered to police yesterday. Haynes is believed to be the leader of a car club that engaged in multiple takeover events across the state, notably in Tolland in May of 2023. You're looking at video taken during that takeover where the group damaged a person's car as they were trying to drive by. Haynes is out on a $25,000 bond, and police say more arrests are expected.
April's Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention of Animal Cruelty Month. State officials are highlighting the link between animal cruelty and child abuse, plus other forms of violence. Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolf-Forst is in Branford with our story.
Connecticut officials want to talk about the link between animal cruelty and domestic violence.
When we hear of issues of animal cruelty, there's also other things going on.
Lieutenant Governor Susan Beisowitz cited data showing animals were harmed in 88% of homes where a child was also physically abused. She says children exposed to domestic violence are 3 times more likely to be cruel to animals, and 75% of female survivors of domestic violence report their pets were threatened or intentionally harmed by their partner.
Sadly, beloved pets can become part of an abuser's coercive control over victims.
But the state is hoping to address this link by increasing communication between the Department of Agriculture, which oversees animal control, and the Department of Children and Families.
It's a really important conversation, not one of the most fun things that we have to talk about at the agency, but one that we're not going to shy away from because we understand the value and importance on the benefits and the welfare, not only the animals in the state, but the humans in the state.
A 2011 state law expanded in 2014 requires DCF staff and state, regional, and municipal animal control officers to work together to cross-report when they suspect animal cruelty and child abuse and neglect.
Pets are becoming these unwitting victims and silent witness to troubled households.
The state wanting to recognize shelters taking care of those animals, like Sable.
The Dan Cosgrove Animal Shelter in Branford has been helping homeless animals in Connecticut for 2 decades.
It's a beacon of hope for those furry friends and individuals and families in really distressing situations.
And as shelters like Dan Cosgrove continue to rehabilitate and care for these furry family members, the state wants people to speak up if they suspect animal or human abuse.
This administration has taken the position that every report and every allegation gets investigated.
Reporting in Branford, Emma Wolf-Forst, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.